Guidelines of the 12th Investors Conference curtain raiser. He says India is in a sweet spot. Markets across the globe are doing well. Listen in.
Is it a big liquidity trade around the world which is underway? I mean, so macros, individual macros for each market doesn't matter that much. It is this big gush of liquidity which is pushing all markets higher. I know we kind of lean on the liquidity factor too much, but that is true in a way. That is what we are seeing.
But that's what the market is all about, Prashant. If you look at it in short term, end of the day, it is the kind of, I think, we say market is a kind of, I think, voting machine. That how much money really, I think, is changing in which kind of, I think, sectors. So sometimes really, I think, it's a kind of, I think, liquidity on this side. Sometimes really, I think, liquidity really, I think, go to the debt side. So right now we are seeing across the globe, I think the markets are doing well, including India. And of course, really, I think globally liquidity is impacting the market in the short term. But I don't see really, I think, that there's kind of, I think, exuberance you can see on the stock prices because the money is going to the companies which are performing well.
Yeah. You know, from a global standpoint, one sentiment kind of which I pick up is people are kind of, kuch bhi ho sakta hai, you know, because rates are negative yields. I mean, this is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Every week we see some country dropping rates into the negative zone, right? So you don't have that handle really. And at the end of the day, it is liquidity. And when there is trouble, liquidity goes back home. And home is the US of A.
Sure.
Mostly. So do you sense that?
I think, see, at any point of time, multiple kind of, I think, factors will keep on working on the market, being geopolitical, being economic.
But at this point, you're sanguine. You think?
Yeah, I think so. In India, if you see, I think you've seen, I think, the one of the best monsoon really, which we've seen after 2 years. You've seen, I think, GST being really, I think, passed by here. You already have, I think, new governor, I think, again, a very kind of, I think, bright and sharp mind, and really, I think, within the kind of, I think, central bank. So I think there are a lot of positive things which really have been really, of course, really factored by the market. Now let's see, I think, whether it is liquidity or whether there is any kind of, I think, new reforms coming in from the government. Because if you see even the pace of the government in terms of coming out with reforms also is increasing.
Yeah.
And I think really I am very hopeful that we will see even better days from
in
the
a
market
way,
perspective.
you know, they say that when there is no growth everywhere else and there is growth here, the market stands out, and that is true, right? But you don't want everything else to be down in the dumps also, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So that is the situation. So that's why I think
the
that
markets
kind of
get
concern.
kind of, I think, global sentiments impact the market everywhere, and we are also now part of the globalized market. So we'll definitely, I think, get impacted by
what is happening at Motilal Oswal? Talk to us about that. I mean, you're building out. I mean, you're actually building out into various areas.
See, you've seen the quarterly numbers. Really, I think we have seen after a long time. I think one of the best quarter. And if you look at, I would say, various segments, say asset management, say your housing finance business, say private equity, I think we are seeing really, I think, good amount of exits even on our private equity side. Real estate fund, really, I think we are able to raise about 800 crores in our third real estate fund. So I think out of the 7 verticals, really, I think most of the verticals, really, I think are much kind of, I think, better than what used to be. So I think really right now I would say that we are going through a very positive kind of, I think, the business cycle. And of course, market also is really helping us.
On the private equity side, what is the amount of unrealized gains that you're sitting on? I mean, if you were to market at this point.
I don't have, we'll have to work out the numbers in terms of, but I think this is going to be, I think, good amount of kind of thing, because this is the last year when we had to exit, and most of the carry, you know, it comes back at it.
Yeah.
And some carry has already come in Q1 already.
The broking business, though, with a market, with a bullish market or a bull market, the broking business, is it doing well? Or
I think broking business is doing much better than what
if
we
you
have
compare
seen.
this phase to the last bull market, right?
See, the
that was something else, right? Volumes were huge.
Last best results we seen for broking was in March 2010. After that, broking went through kind of, I think, serious kind of, I think, slowdown. But if you look at this year, I think it is kind of, I think, much kind of, I think, better than what we have seen in previous 2 to 3 years. So I remain confident that new money is coming in, new investors are coming in. And one thing which I've seen really, I think, which is good trend is that at least huge amount of retail money is coming through mutual funds rather than directly through the equities. And of course, the IPO, whatever quality IPO seen in last kind of the year, IPO also has given huge amount of appreciation, and the more important that quality IPOs have come. So the people have made good money on IPOs.
Out of the 7 verticals, which area are you most bullish on?
I think right now the capital market kind of, I think, are going through, I would say, very positive kind of, I think, sentiment. So I think broking, which is the biggest and the largest business here, I'm quite hopeful that really, I think this year is going to be much better than that. Housing finance business, which is, I think, entering into 3rd year, where we had disbursed about already 2,800 crores worth of into only affordable segment. That also is doing very well, and that is supplementing our kind of, I think, fee and transaction-based business into now the
What is the book now for housing finance?
The last quarter was about 2,600 crores, which is growing every month by 200 to 300 crores.
Okay. The asset management?
AMC also is getting a good amount of money. We have about now 14,000 crores worth of equity being managed through PMS and mutual fund both. So on month, I think we are getting good traction.
You think growth rates will sustain, or it's getting harder?
So last couple of months, I think the AMC
growth rate has actually started to come up.
Slowed down, but I think that let's see what happens in next.
Which are the other verticals that you see
investment
traction
banking?
in?
We have because that is also a function of the market. I talked about real estate fund management. I talked about private equity. We talked about private wealth business apart from the brokerage.
Right.
All right, that's Mr. Motilal Oswal, Chairman and